What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Night Owl channel. Welcome back to the series where I'm giving you guys 5 tips on every hero and troop in the game. We've already done the Barbarian King and the Archer Queen, two very key and important pieces of the game. And now we're going to go over probably the second most important unit in the game, which is going to be the Grand Warden. The Grand Warden is locked at Town Hall 11. He is one of the best support units in the game, and he's very, very important to unlock, upgrade, and use his abilities to the best of your ability. Before we jump into the 5 tips, let's take a look at his statistics and what the Grand Warden does for people who don't know. We have the Grand Warden here, damage per second at almost 300. Hit points is extremely low. I believe it's the lowest out of all the heroes. And let's go over to his abilities, which is the Life Aura and the Eternal Tome. He is the only hero in the game as of right now to have 2 different abilities. And the first one is a Life Aura. He gives a HP increase to any unit around his aura. So anyone close enough to the Grand Warden will receive an HP boost, allowing them to take more damage or absorb more fire. And his second ability, probably his most important ability, is the Eternal Tome, which allows your units within his radius to be invincible for a set period of time. So like I said, the Grand Warden is probably the second most important unit in the game. I would say the Archer Queen is the only unit above him that would probably take priority, but the Grand Warden is one of the most important units in the game, and you should be pushing to upgrade him when you unlock him at Town Hall 11 as fast as you can, because every 5 levels upgrading him increases the invincibility, the Eternal Tome ability, which is the key ability. He can protect a lot of your troops at once, and that is really the key with the Grand Warden. So speaking of his abilities, go ahead and jump into the first tip, which is going to be when to use his ability. Okay, so the first obvious way to use his abilities for Talent 12s and up is when you're going across the Giga Bomb and the bomb goes off and you want to protect the squishy units or the units that would automatically die from the bomb, including the Hog Riders, Bowlers, I believe Witches, of course Barbarians, Archers, anything really small like that. But anything that's not tanky enough to survive the Giga Blast from Town Hall 12s, 13s, and now Town Hall 14, you want to use that ability over top of the Town Hall so that way those units survive the blast and they can get through, whether it's the freeze ability at Town Hall 13 or now the poison ability at Town Hall 14. They have that extra, 3 or 4 seconds to survive after the initial blast from the Town Hall. The second way to use his ability, and it's mainly for Town Hall 11s, but you can also use it for Town Hall 12s, 13s, and 14s as well. But if you're not going to use it over the Giga Blast, then you can use your Grand Warden ability almost like instantaneously or to mitigate the damage from the Eagle Artillery when the shots fire off. Again, it's more applicable to Town Hall 11 because that is really the only thing you have to really defend against. Of course, the Inferno Towers and all the other defenses, but the Eagle shots that are coming down on top of your units, if the majority of your attack is going towards the Eagle first and you use the Warden ability early to mitigate and blunt that initial shot, then the Eagle kind of is useless, because once the Eagle shots have been negated, then the majority of your troops will already have made it to the Eagle. The Eagle goes down and is no longer a threat to you for your attack, making your attack a lot easier to get through the base. But those are basically the 2 times you want to use the ability with the Grand Warden. You can also, if your Queen charges the Eagle and the Eagle's not firing down on you, you can use it when a bunch of splash damage is attacking your loons or your Bowish or whatever it is. Holding on to the Warden ability is usually a good thing. Depending on how long you have it, it's always a nice thing to have. Those are the main 2 ways to use the Warden ability. You can also use it to protect like a wall wrecker or like a log launcher that you're trying to get into the base specifically, or like a blimp you're trying to get to the middle of the base. That's also a great way to use the ability. A lot of people do that. So if you're using hybrid and the blimp's coming in and it's just about to leave the aura of the Grand Warden and you want it to make it to the center of the base to get that, that 3-star that you want, using the ability before it leaves the aura, a lot of people do it, and it's a very good tactic to use as well. Alright, now we're going to talk about tip number 2 and kind of tip number 3 in tandem. They both kind of go together. And tip number 2 is the Warden Walk, or the Warden accompanying the Queen on the Queen Walk / Queen Charge. We're going to start off with the Queen Walk / Queen Charge part. And the only reason why you want your Warden sometimes to go with your Queen Walk or your Queen Charge is to avoid using a rage spell on top of the Queen. So in the previous tip video, I talked about how the rage spell is used to save the Queen when she's Queen Charging or Queen Walking a base or a section of the base, and that keeps her alive. With the Warden there, the Warden does extra damage. He also gives her a little bit of extra health with his Life Aura. She's got the extra damage boost coming from the Warden as he's there behind her doing extra damage and taking down the buildings they need to take down. Now, talking about the Warden Walk, and it's kind of going in tandem with tip number 3, which is the way the Warden works. So the Warden is very similar to that of the Eagle Artillery in terms of what they target. So the Eagle targets the most HP density on the map. So you place a bunch of troops down in one spot, Eagle's going to target that. Same thing with the Warden. The Warden kind of follows the highest troop space, the highest number of troop space on the map. So So if you're funneling with just a Warden walk, he's on the left side of the base, he's taking out a couple outside buildings, he's got all of the buildings down, and he's ready, and you're ready for him to join the main unit and push into the base and try to get that 3-star. So all you have to do is really place 1 or 2 P.E.K.K.A.s, or maybe it's a Yeti, maybe it's a few bowlers, and whatever the number is for the troop space that you place down within his aura, or even like just like around his aura, he's going to gravitate towards those troops, and he's going to follow those troops into the base. Whatever they attack, he is also going to attack, and that's how he works. So whatever has the most troop space, whichever units is deciding to attack one building together, whatever they decide to, you know, team up on taking down, whether it's, you know, the archer tower, whatever it is they're going into the base to take down, the Warden will take down whatever they're targeting together. And that's really how it's easier to use a Warden walk to funnel, because you can easily pull him to wherever you want to, especially starting out with a Warden walk. If he's by himself, he's just going to act like a normal troop and attack whatever's around him. But once you start placing those troops down, you can get him to move towards those Yetis, move towards those P.E.K.K.A.s, and move towards those bowlers, and push towards getting that 3-star. Just a little bonus tip about that, just be careful about that. I've seen it sometimes where some people place their troops a little bit too far away from the Warden, and he doesn't register that they're there. So he continues to Warden walk by himself, and, you know, it's just going to be a disaster of attack. The Warden's not following the units, and he ends up going around the base, or, you know, he doesn't bring the healers with him, whatever it is, and, you know, it can end up being a very bad attack. So make sure that when you're doing the Warden walk, place something close enough to him to gravitate toward that main unit, because I've seen it happen where people miss that, and the entire attack is ruined. Alright, next tip is going to be his defensive placement. So again, he's got the Life Aura ability, which is also activated on defense. If you'll notice that he turns into a building when he goes on defense, but he still has his aura. So anything defensively within that aura, heroes, CC troops, and skeletons, all receive an HP boost. So if you place a Warden right next to a clan castle, maybe a couple heroes, and then all your skeleton traps, that's a huge Life Aura boost to your defense, and it also increases your chance to defend against the base. Your attacker has to work a little bit harder to get through the boosted troops and heroes, and it's just all about placing the Grand Warden a little bit, you know, closer to those units and taking advantage of his defensive Life Aura boost, because it works on both offense and defense. And finally, the last tip, just something to keep in mind if you're going to use like a Warden walk, or if you notice this in the base, take advantage of it. The Warden has the longest range in the game, and with that being said, he can outrange the wizard towers, bomb towers, any archer tower placed on the fast attack mode, and hidden Tesla. So if you're charging an area that has like a couple wizard towers, or a bomb tower, or maybe an archer tower with a couple of, you know, bomb towers or wizard towers, whatever it is, you take down that archer tower first, and then the Warden has free range to take down the remaining wizard towers or the bomb towers, or, you know, an air defense. If you set on ground, if you set on air, he can take down cannons. You know, just taking advantage of using his range. I think that will lead you to having some pretty successful attacks, especially when you're Warden walking. Because, I mean, it doesn't really affect him while he's, I guess, you know, within the group. Because if he's with the group of people, he's just going to attack whatever they're attacking. But if he's by himself, and he knows a wizard tower is kind of by itself, or not really protected very well, you can take advantage of it, take it down without it really doing any damage, and then continue with your attack. But that's all I have for Grand Warden here. Again, I think he's the second most important unit in the game out of everything in the game. Extremely powerful. His Grand Warden ability is extremely viable in this game. It's one of the best offensive things in the game. The reliance on that Warden ability is extremely heavy, especially as you go higher and higher in the game. And getting used to the timing of the Warden ability is something that you have to practice, especially if you're a brand new Town Hall 11. You've never been in Town Hall 11 before. I remember when Town Hall 11 first came out, and I couldn't get the timing down for the Warden. I would press it too soon, or, you know, I press it too late, and then like an eagle shot or two would get through. And you have to get used to that timing, which you will get better with through time and everything. But that's all I have for the Warden, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We've got one hero left as of right now, and then we're going to jump into all the troops and super troops and all that good stuff, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely appreciate a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions about the game, just let me know down in the comment section, and I'll get to you. If you want to see a specific video or anything like that, let me know down in the comment section, and I will get to it. But that's all I have, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.